Hey ladies, welcome to your first coaching video for your 12-week transformation program. In this video, we're going to go over our guidelines for our nutritional program. What we're trying to accomplish here is we want to eliminate foods that are causing inflammation and that are causing your body to have a difficult time regulating blood sugar. And in videos following this, we'll go more in depth of quality of food, why certain foods create inflammation, and how important controlling your blood sugar is. So I want to keep this video fairly simple and give you the bullet points of the do's and don'ts of our program, and then, like I said, in following videos, we'll go a little bit more in depth on some of the whys. So to start with, what we can eat. Yes to real food. So basically, we're going to eat moderate portions of things like meat and seafood and eggs. We're going to eat lots of vegetables. We're going to eat some fruit. We want plenty of natural fats like coconut oils and avocado, herbs and spices and seasonings. Basically, we want to eat foods with very few ingredients, and we want to be able to pronounce all of these ingredients. We want them to be whole and unprocessed. Seems pretty simple, right? So when we go grocery shopping, we're going to stay on the outside of the grocery store. So things like all of your meats and eggs and fruits and vegetables, you can go in any grocery food store and those are found on the outside. When we start getting in the middle of the aisles, not that you can't have anything in the middle of the aisles, but that's where it gets a lot more tricky, where things are in a box or a bag or a can. They have ingredients on there, and that's where we have to be real careful and start reading what's in our food. If you can't pronounce it, rest assured your liver doesn't like it. So simple as this sounds, let's talk about what we are going to avoid, especially for the first 30 days. Now, some of these things we should be avoiding altogether forever, but that's not realistic to say that we will never eat a slice of bread again. But what I want to do with you guys very firmly for the first 30 days, because the whole purpose of what we're trying to do here, besides helping you get to an optimal weight and lose inches and things of that nature, we're trying to improve your physiology. So we're going through a healing process here. So for 30 days, I want you to be super, super, super strict, 100%. I usually don't ask people to do anything 100% of the time because that's unrealistic, but we all can do 100% for 30 days. Okay? And then after the 30 days, we can reintroduce some of these things back into your diet and see what kind of effect they have. And at least that way you're making an informed decision on whether or not the pain and inflammation that certain foods causes you is worth it or not. Okay, so we are not going to consume any added sugar, real or artificial. Okay, so no added sugar whatsoever. Now, I'm not talking about the natural sugars that are already in a strawberry or a pineapple, okay, or the natural sugary starches that are in a potato and things of that nature. I'm talking about added sugars, many of which that we can't pronounce, ending in OSE, so those are an absolute no. And for at least the first 30 days, preferably throughout your entire 12 weeks, not even adding real organic sugar. Now, after you've reached your goal, we add some organic sugar here and there to certain recipes. That's not the end of the world. But for the purpose of helping you reach your wildly important goal, and for all the reasons that you want to reach that goal, for all those whys, it's super important that we follow these guidelines. No alcohol. I realize that one's going to be a tough one, especially for during football season. But at least do this for the first 30 days, and then even after that, that should be something that's done, very rare on a weekly or monthly basis. Essentially, nothing gets converted into sugar quicker than alcohol. So that's going to make it extremely difficult to regulate blood sugar and have an optimal physiological insulin response in your physiology. This one here is a big one. We're going to eliminate grains, all grains: wheat, rye, barley, oats, corn, rice, millet, etc. Grains cause a tremendous amount of inflammation. They're very high in polyunsaturated fats, and the grains wreak havoc in your body's ability to create homeostasis and optimal physiology. No legumes. Includes beans of all kinds, including peanut butter. No peanut butter. We'll go into peanut butter and no soy in a later video. But the inflammation that these things cause are absolutely a roadblock in your goals. Now, some exceptions to this rule here with the legumes. You can have things like green beans, sugar snap peas, snow peas, things of that nature. They are more pods, and they're not going to create the inflammation that the other legumes will cause. They don't have as much phytic acid, and they're not going to inhibit the mineral absorption like the rest of the beans would. You can also have let's go down here, no dairy. I know that sucks. So we're cutting out milk, we're cutting out cheese, and we're cutting out butter. This one is not so much long term. I have found that for most people, if we eliminate this in the first 30 days, when we reintroduce it back in, when we reintroduce the quality butters back in from grass-fed cows, many people do okay on that. But that being said, dairy is absolutely in the top 5 food allergens, and it causes a lot of inflammation that you may not even realize. The exception to this rule is you can have ghee, or which is a clarified butter. The reason this is because in the process of creating ghee, clarified butter, the milk fat and milk proteins, there's a complete separation there, and basically you end up with just the fat with ghee, clarified butter, with none of the negative effects that the milk proteins have if they cause inflammation. So yes, you can have ghee, clarified butter. After 30 days, we'll talk about reintroducing maybe a grass-fed organic butter and see if you have any adverse reactions to that. Read your food labels. We don't want any carrageenan, MSG, or sulfites. And essentially, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. Okay? Reducing inflammation is huge. 80% of your immune system is in your gut, and whenever our gut is inflamed and we have an unhealthy balance of good and bad bacteria in our gut, it wreaks havoc in our body, not only from a systemic inflammatory response, but our body's ability to our immune system's ability to do its job, which is fight off bacteria and viruses and things of that nature. You will be amazed at really what this will do. Most people have a chronic problem of inflammation, especially in the gut, and don't even know it. So some people will tell me, well, Chris, when I eat grains like breads or pastas and such, they don't really cause inflammation. Yet when I look at a food log, over the course of 10 to 14 days, grains are a staple in all of our diet. So most people have been eating grains literally every single day for their entire life. So they're bloated and inflamed, and they don't feel it because there's an absolute disconnect because they've been inflamed and bloated their entire life. And so you really don't know until you eliminate those things. And then when you reintroduce them back in, then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's self-evident. It's like, wow, your body didn't has never known what it feels like to not be bloated and inflamed. So a lot of these things will be self-evident to you once we reintroduce things back in, because it is unrealistic to say I'm never going to eat a grain again. But after we eliminate it for a while and your body goes through that healing process, when you reintroduce it back in, it'll be self-evident. And then at that point, you know, and you're making an informed decision on whether or not the inflammation and the symptoms from that are something that's worth it to you or not for that particular meal or event. And just remember, the long-term goal here is to improve your physiology and allow your body to go to that homeostasis or balance of an ideal weight and an ideal health overall. As always, myself and my team are here to help you with these things. We're going to keep you accountable with it, and we're going to support you and ensure that you reach your goal. See you guys soon.